This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my review of the Citadel Arc. And I do want to mention that, as of in this week's video, I have been caught up on the Clone Wars up to the episode at least of the one I'm reviewing, and I'm currently in the middle of season 6. I'm not going to have a full review of the show because I'm doing these reviews, so let's just go right into this arc. Jedi Master Evan Peel has been captured by separatist forces containing vital information the Republic needs for the Nexus route, a hyperspace lane that can connect the Republic capital to the Separatist. They are trying to extract the information out of him at the Separatist-controlled prison known as the Citadel, originally intended as a prison to hold fallen Jedi. It is the record of no one ever being able to escape from it, and the Jedi do need to go and rescue Master Peel before these coordinates are taken from him. Anakin Skywalker does not want his apprentice Ahsoka to go onto this mission because of how dangerous it is, and Ahsoka does go to talk to Mr. Plo Koon, who does reassure her that Anakin has her best interests at heart, while R2-D2 uses reprogrammed battle droids to fly in undetected, but also to fool the scanners. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and the rest of the clones are all frozen in carbonite, so they cannot be detected by the lifeform scanners. And heading to the planet of Lolistau, the droids go in contact with Separatist Command, who go and scan the ship. Seeing that there are no lifeforms on board, meaning the carbonite trick worked, they allow them to land. Being dropped off, Anakin sees that Ahsoka has disobeyed his orders and joined the mission, although she says that Master Plo Koon has assigned her to the mission. Anakin still is suspicious, but Obi-Wan quickly dismisses it, knowing that they need to continue on with the mission. Preparing to climb the wall, they see that jetpacks were useless, and they cannot use other methods like grapple hooks since there are mines placed everywhere. So they're forced to free climb it, but a clone does slip and fall, setting off an alarm, alerting the prison's warden. Ahsoka is able to use a small hatch to get into the prison, and they go to rescue Master Peel. They are quickly able to find him, but he tells them that they need to go and find his captain because they've each memorized half of the coordinates. Going to rescue the captain, they have to fight through armies of separatist droids, and Anakin is pulled up to the ceiling when magnets are used because of his robotic hand, although this proves to be their advantage since Anakin's able to get a hold of his lightsaber and disable the magnet by destroying it. They go and find the captain, who turns out to be Wilhoff Tarkin, and he is very skeptical of the Jedi's plan, and it does not want to go and split up, although Master Peel does see the advantage in it. He goes with Obi-Wan and Cody, who go and create a diversion, blowing up a hallway to divert forces towards them, so at least one group can guarantee to escape. With this, Anakin and Ahsoka go into the wall using the old caves to get to the extraction point. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan and Master Peel are leading a group to another extraction point where they'll be picked up at two locations. Anakin will be picked up just outside of a fuel line, while Obi-Wan is picked up before them at a landing platform. They are sneaking up an air vent, and with it, they are spotted by a probe droid. Although it is destroyed, an alert does go off, closing doors throughout the air vent, killing one clone trooper. Meanwhile, the warden has been contacted about getting the Nexus coordinates by Count Dooku, and he's getting more and more furious as the Jedi continue to elude him. Ahsoka is placed in charge of the company to lead it as Anakin goes and protects their rear. There's also an interesting conversation between Anakin, Tarkin, and Ahsoka talking about how effective the Jedi are in the Clone Wars, and Anakin does agree with Tarkin that the Jedi Code often prevents them from being able to win battles and do what is necessary. Back on the landing platform, R2 and the battle droids arrive, and the tactical droid sends R2 away to be imprisoned, and with this, Ahsoka being trapped at the wall is attacked by commando droids where Anakin comes back and tells her that she was supposed to blow up the wall, which puts suspicion on him since that was part of the plan. And Ahsoka should have known this if Master Plo Koon did put her on the mission. They don't have time for that now and do manage to escape from the commando droids. Back on the hangar, Obi-Wan and Master Peel with the rest of the clones are all captured. And after, they are being interrogated by the warden once again, and he tells them to give them the information, or else they will start to kill off members of the squad. And they go and confirm that they will not give him any of this and that this is war, so they will be people who die and they are not willing to give up these coordinates because of all the problems it will cause. Sending them away to be tortured, the battle droids under the command of R2-D2 are able to intercept them and move them back to the landing platform. Meanwhile, Anakin, Ahsoka, Tarkin, and the rest of the clones are going through the fuel line so they can make it to the extraction point. And with it, we just see more of how Anakin and Tarkin agree, and Ahsoka doesn't really see the points Tarkin makes. After exiting the vent, they are ambushed by droids and are forced to fight them off, although they're able to use the fuel line they just exited as a bomb so they could manage to escape and go to Plan B, which is to meet up with Obi-Wan on the landing platform. And now the warden is getting even more furious since the prisoners have both escaped and he hasn't been able to recapture anyone now, and he decides to ignore a call from Count Dooku, not wanting to anger the Sith Lord anymore. After this, we just see how things are getting even more intense as the battle droids, under the control of R2, do try to just leave, but they are discovered and are forced into a massive battle. But Anakin, Ahsoka, Tarkin, and the rest of the clones do show up to assist them. During the battle, more and more separatist forces show up, and Echo goes and tries to take the shuttle so they can use it to escape and take out the separatist cannons. But a commando droid does manage to reach the cannons and blows up the ship. This forces them to retreat and contact the Jedi to go and do an extraction plan so they can go and get the next coordinates back to Coruscant and not be captured. This is extremely concerning for the Jedi, and they're forced to hide on the planet while they wait for contact from the Jedi Council. After they do, they are given the extraction point and begin to head towards it. Meanwhile, the Warden is in contact with Dooku, and Dooku is getting impatient with him, and he needs to get the Nexus route coordinates soon. Meanwhile, the Jedi and clones are being pursued by droids, and the three battle droids programmed by R2-D2 go and sacrifice themselves, giving everyone just enough time to escape. Meanwhile, on a Venator, the Jedi go and plan their rescue mission, noting that if the group is not able to reach the rendezvous point in time, they will have to leave them behind because there is very little time they could be on the planet with how strong the defenses are. Meanwhile, some Anubas are sent out to track down the Jedi clones and Tarkin, and they are given orders to the battle droids to just use them to track them down and not kill anyone. Back with the group, they continue to walk, and Anakin and Tarkin continue to talk, and Tarkin mentions how he's a friend of Chancellor Palpatine, and Anakin tells him he is also a good friend of the Chancellor. Although they were ordered not to use the Anubis to attack, they still do attack, and the Jedi are forced to fend them off. Although Master Peel is mortally wounded, and Ahsoka is able to fight off the Anubis. And here, Peel is dying and tells Ahsoka the Nexus route coordinates, even though Ahsoka admits that she was not supposed to be on the mission and she snuck on. Master Peel explains how she is now the most important part of it, since she now has half of the Nexus route coordinates. Continuing on, they go and have a small memorial service for Master Peel, letting his body go off into the sulfur-like lava, and his body is burned away. Continuing on in space, they do manage to break through the blockade and are heading down to the planet, and the Jedi have reached the extraction point and are forced to fight off droid forces. The Warden goes and tries to kill Captain Tarkin, but Ahsoka is able to save his life, killing the Warden. The gunships do arrive, and the Jedi manage to escape off-world. Back on Coruscant, there is a small problem with Tarkin being ordered to bring the half of the coordinates he has to the Chancellor, while Ahsoka is following Master Peel's dying wish to only reveal it to the Jedi Council. Master Yoda says they will resolve this matter, and although they did lose Master Peel, they didn't get a great victory overall, with them being able to get the Nexus route coordinates, which will greatly help in the war. At least that's what I assume, because just looking at this episode, we never hear about the Nexus road again, and with it, I am assuming that is how Dooku, Grievous, and the rest of the Separatists go into capture Palpatine in the events of Revenge of the Sith. Oh, that's just, a little theory I have. And yeah, with it, they never officially have a use of the Nexus coordinates, so it could be kind of like Master Peel died for nothing. Although they probably did use them, it's just off screen, and it's just kind of odd that they never did show it. And with it, my best guess is that's how Palpatine had Dooku and Grievous show up to go and capture him in Revenge of the Sith. But yeah, overall, this is a great arc. We have some great moments in this, like the near death of Echo, although at the time we thought it was the death of Echo. And we see one of the final tragedies in the story of Domino Squad, since now the Domino Squad is just down to fives, and Echo, who is being taken into a separatist facility to be experimented on by the Techno Union. Although we know that does happen, at this point in the show, we all just assumed Echo was dead. Yeah, look at it. Everything was great in this. We have a great appearance from Grand Moff Tarkin, or the future Grand Moff Tarkin. I definitely see parts of his personality in there. And one thing I kind of wish they did keep was Tarkin just brutally killing the Warden in cold blood, and Ahsoka wasn't the one who saved him. I think that would have been really nice foreshadowing for how this guy goes and blows up Alderaan. But it was still really interesting, and for the two arcs he appears in, he was a really interesting character. Master Peel was also really cool to see. The Warden was a fun character and proved as a good antagonist for this arc. And yeah, I honestly overall love this arc. It's definitely not my favorites, but it's still a really solid one, which just had so many great moments in it. Well, let's go take a look at my ranking. And with it, I gave it a score of 95.3, putting it just above the Ryloth arc, and just a little bit below the Holocron heist storyline, and yeah, I think that's a good point to have it at. I don't know if I will, but I may move around numbers a little bit. But if I do, it'll only be by a decimal, moving it maybe up or down just so I could have a little more space. But that'll be it. It's not going to be a huge change overall, and that'll only be if I get to an arc and realize it's directly in between two other arcs. And since this is the first point I think that I've ever had, one that has decimals right next to each other, I just want to mention it this week. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about this arc at least. Definitely enjoyed it, and I'm sorry if it comes out a little later. I did finish recording before I saw Thor Love and Thunder, but I decided to, instead of edit, I wanted to go play a little bit more of Skywalker Saga. Since the game crashed last night, and I just decided I was going to go watch the episode of The Boys, since I was going to be playing it and then watch the Boys episode. But since it crashed, I just decided to go and watch the episode. Yeah, just let me know what you think. Also, my review of Thor Love and Thunder is either going to be up before this or after this. Probably before, because I'm not going to have as much time editing it. Well, it'll take me maybe like another hour to pull all the clips and edit this video, although it's probably going to take less. It'll probably take like half an hour, but it just depends on how much time I have to edit. But yeah, I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.